which has had Mike Williams winning every time out, and this is the Drayton Manor Park MG Metro Cup. The cars are on track. It is Mike Williams who will start on pole position with Tom Sanderson alongside him, and the second row of the grid, Tom Granger. He has been a class winner every time out, and he has Neil Gardner for company, with the grid being based on the race 1 result. There is the car of Ray Kirschberg. Ray has been racing now for over 38 years in a variety of championships. His car is not registered for points, it runs in the invitation class, but Ray Kirschberg is normally there or thereabouts, and in the thick of the action. Number 98, Jack Ashton then, onboard camera he had in the first race, and he made it through to 6th in only his 4th ever race. Let's see how he fares now, starting on the outside of the 3rd row of the grid. This is his view as he makes his way up towards the hairpin, ready for our second 10-minute Metro Cup race of the day here at Mallory Park. But they're going to have to go some to beat Mike Williams, whose 100% record he will be looking to maintain. Round 5 of the Drayton Manor Park MG Metro Cup about to get underway. The safety car, the pace car as it is now, will peel into the pit lane, and then we're going to be in business. And Mike Williams, who had his fuel issue in the qualifying session for this, that's all sorted, and he's now looking to try to make good 2 wins in a day. He was nervous about problems in race 1, but it all fell into place for him. Let's see what sort of a start he can make as the lights go out, and a really good getaway by Tom Granger. Look up the inside, he has to breathe in and avoid any contact with either the pit wall or cars to the other side of him, but that was a really brave effort. But the better start made by Tom Sanderson on the outside line, but because it's the longer line, he can't do it and get ahead of Mike Williams, so Williams leads the way then as they round Gerrards for the first time. Sanderson second, Granger a little bit sideways then as he comes up alongside Neil Gardner, and this is Jack Ashton's view as he grabs a gear onto the step straight.
So exiting Gerrards there, going really, really well, a little bit wide, half the car's length under the car, going wide onto the grass. That's the last thing you want to do there, because it's a really fast circuit and the grass will just suck you off going across the track, which is not where you want to be. So going through the Dunlop S's, now braking down into 3rd, down into 2nd gear at the hairpin here at Mallory Park.
Up towards the end of lap number 1 then, Mike Williams it is in the lead of the race. Down through the left-hander of the Devil's Elbow to complete lap number 1 then, Mike Williams it is in the lead. In 2nd spot you've got Tom Sanderson. Now this is the view on board with Jack Ashton as he makes his way up over the timing line. At the end of lap 1 he's in 5th spot, so he's gained a place on the inside there. Look, you can see Neil Gardner and a very sideways Tom Granger. Does he hang on to this? So far so good. He hops over the grass. He's managed to scoop it all up, and he is still there leading his class, but he's being closed up on now by Jack Ashton here.
So through Gerrards, soaring at the wheel, you can see the wheel moving left, right, as the suspension is moving underneath you and over the undulations and the bumps of the Mallory Park tarmac circuit here. But really good onboard footage there, and some really close stuff going wide there at the Dunlop S's. We're going to have 2, maybe 3 abreast into the hairpin this time. Is our camera car Ashton going to have a little go? No, just going to be patient. And the number 1 car that we've just seen go wide and onto the grass and make a mistake earlier,
fights back on the inside, doesn't he, Tom Granger? So he lost 1 spot to Neil Gardner. He gained it and then lost it again. They're trading the place. And then Jack Ashton running in 5th place as they come up now over the timing line. Let's have a look at what happened at Gerrards. Now, side by side for 3rd. Neil Gardner was ahead. Granger goes round the outside and gets the place, turns in, and the back just seems to break away. Yeah, there was no one else involved in that at all. It was literally just Granger just turning in. Rear wheels still very, very cold. Remember, they haven't done that many laps yet. The rear tyres need to warm up, and a real shame. But just a driver error, nobody involved at all. The top 2 you're looking at, Mike Williams and Tom Sanderson, the same top 2 that we had in race 1. They were split at the end of 10 minutes by 3 seconds, but here Tom Sanderson is staying with him. He's had, irritatingly, 4 second places in 4 races, and that, I think, is Neil Gardner, who's gone rally crossing. He's back on the track. And let's see, Jack Ashton is right on the tail of car number 1, Tom Granger, and that means that they have just gained a place because Neil Gardner has chucked it away all over the weeds coming out of the S's. Granger and Ashton then together. Behind them you've got Oliver Hood, the boat builder from Coventry, and look at the leaders, they're nose to tail. Now here's the replay of what Neil Gardner did. He just runs out of road, doesn't he?
runs out of road, just understeers basically, where the front of the car slides and goes from underneath you, and literally just the car just hits the edge of the track, and the back end comes right up in the air. So lucky not to have rolled there, but really good that he's carried on. Car won't be damaged, and now back to the leaders. So really good replay there, so well done for that.
Tom Sanderson in second place, the quickest man on the circuit. You get a point for the fastest lap as well. It would help him to get that. And now Mike Williams is being given a very tough time. Are we looking at the race in which the winning streak comes to an end? Down he comes towards the hairpin, under braking. Sanderson closes up ever so slightly. The Scunthorpe panel beater, Tom Sanderson, former autograss racer, 12 years he's been racing Metros, he knows all the tricks, but Mike Williams likewise knows exactly how to win races as well. Mike Williams, the race instructor, comes out of the Devil's Elbow up front. Tony Howe, meantime, still battling with Richard Garrard to be the best of the Turbo Metros. Dick Trevitt's car, having retired from race 1, withdrew from this race. There is Sanderson in second place. Mike Williams responding last time. He did the best lap of the race, and now it's a sliding Sanderson second.
And you can just see the inside rear wheel of these Metros just literally hopping up in the air. Literally, you can just see it on the inside there as they're going around that really demanding, fast-flowing right-hand corner. So be good to get some more shots of that as we look at the leader there, just pulling away a little bit now. They're not so close this time, but they're pushing so hard through the Dunlop S's that they make that left-hander that we've just seen sharper than actually what it really should be, because they're trying to get the fastest lap time and pull away from their rivals as quickly as possible. And this sharp hairpin really is very, very sharp. Second place car, Tom Sanderson.
These cars running in the modified class, they run on a cut-slick tyre effectively. Mike Williams may have looked after his a little bit better. Tom Sanderson's really thrown caution to the wind. There is Jack Ashton in what is only his 5th ever race, and he's running in 4th place overall. He's had a 3rd at Brands as his best yet this year, but he's going strongly nonetheless as he comes over the line. You've got there car number 1, which is Tom Granger. Still dramatic to watch him going around Gerrard's. He's leading his class with Oliver Hood 2nd, but some way back now. So Tom Granger is on his own. There is Ashton 4th overall, 3rd in class, and behind him you've got Ollie Hood running 3rd in his class. There he is just in the background of the shot. So they come now onto the Steb Straight. Neil Gardner is 6th in the very background of all of this, recovering after his big grassy moment. Through the S's once more comes Jack Ashton, powering his way now towards the hairpin. What can he do about Tom Granger? Last time he lapped a little bit slower. They're on board with him now, into the hairpin.
So 3rd, then 2nd, turning the wheel. This corner is so sharp, you've got to take that 2nd stab of the wheel to get it round there. Then up into 3rd, changing gear as quickly as possible. Absolutely flat to the floor, turning in. 4th gear as they go down. You can see him bouncing around in the seat because these cars, remember, are lowered. They're really, really stiff. The stiffer the race car, the better it is, the quicker it is on the circuit. As you can see now, we're down into 4th gear. We're going to dab the brakes. We're going to get back on the power again. The reason why we lift off and dab the brakes is to get the back end of the car, as this is a front-wheel drive car, to come round on us a little bit so we don't run out of road on the exit, which is then called understeer. We don't want to go wide where we just did earlier on the first couple of laps. So absolutely really good flat-out stuff here from our onboard camera. Down into 4th, through the Dunlop S's. Going a little bit wide there, not kissing the apex as close as he should have done. Getting the next apex on the left was spot on. And then braking really, really hard for this very sharp. As a viewer at home, you can see how sharp this corner is now. They turn, get tight to that concrete wall, it goes on and on and on forever, and then back on the power again on the way out. So up into 3rd, and he really is absolutely changing gear as quickly as possible for that gearbox. That gearbox is really working hard underneath it.
Meantime, the race leader, Mike Williams, getting away once again up front. 3 more minutes to go. And Ashton, you've been riding with him, but he's being caught, look, because now Oliver Hood, the apprentice boat builder, looks for a way round as they turn their way through Gerrard's. Oliver Hood, the man from Coventry. This used to be his sister's road car, and then Dad made it into a racer, and it's a competitive car, very definitely. 2nd in class, there is Neil Gardner running in 6th place overall, and then 7th is Tony Howe after an engine change at lunchtime. Race 2 going a lot better. Ashton a little bit deep into the S's. Is he going to survive this? He's running out of road. He's heading for the curb. He's off the circuit. He's all over the green bits. He's going to get back on. Bounces his way onto the track. Has that cost him a place? Let's see what's happening on the right-hand side. There's something in the mirror moving ahead, I reckon, under braking. Yeah. Into the hairpin.
Definitely somebody beside us, definitely, because we've had to take a wide line at the hairpin there. But no, they haven't done the move. He's still kept the move. So well done, considering he's gone over the grass. The tyres have now got a little bit of grass and dust on them. He's now still kept the move. So I'm glad he didn't do that the lap that we were talking around the circuit. That wouldn't have been ideal.
Indeed not. It was Oliver Hood who was challenging. Neil Gardner is there behind them. So this is a good three-way fight now, going on for 4th, 5th and 6th as they turn their way through Gerrard's. and we have got just over 2 more minutes of the race to go. They're a long way clear of Tony Howe, who's the best of the rest in 7th. The lead gap, by the way, has been creeping up, and it's now 1.9 seconds. So yet again, Tom Sanderson is going to be second, his 5th straight second place of the year. And yet again, it's going to be Mike Williams, who he follows home. Ashton again misses the apex, doesn't he, going into the S's, and he runs out wide, and that compromises the whole run up towards the hairpin. Yeah, but didn't go on the grass that time, so very, very lucky that he didn't do so. But he seems to be really, really struggling around that first right-hander for the Dunlop S's. But holding his own definitely. So we've got 1.5 minutes remaining left. Back on the onboard again, up into 3rd gear. Absolutely flat to the floor. This MG Metro GTI really is pushing as hard as it possibly can do. His foot is absolutely welded to the floor. He then will change up into 5th gear before the long drag up to Gerrard's corner, which is the long demanding right-hand bend, which we're at now. And it's a right-hander that goes on forever. There is Ollie Hood twitching away at the wheel. He's got it sideways. Can he save that? Yes, he can. Lays rubber marks down all over the road. That may have been the last shot he had to gain that place, but that, in a day of good saves, was up there with the best. Yeah, definitely. You and I both saw at the same time his steering wheel twitch a little bit in the car as we had the external views there, and then basically the car snapped back on him. So here we go. You can just see, if you look inside the cockpit of the car, you see him soaring at the wheel, and then that in turn lets the suspension then react. And with a front-wheel drive car, you really need to keep your foot on the power to pull you out of the slide, so you keep the car in motion away from the slide. So really good car control there from Hood. Well done. Did his sister get it that sideways? History doesn't recount that. Just watching the race leader, because he's now in traffic. Mike Williams getting caught up a little bit. Ahead of him, you can see, is Alex Flower in the car that leads the MG ZR class, and he has won that every time out. So Mike Williams, the dominant driver in his class for the modified cars, gets ahead of the dominant ZR driver, and Mike Williams, the race instructor, continues to push on because he's got, yet again, fastest lap of the race. He's just set that. Of course, a point goes with it for the championship. So as he was explaining to Andy J earlier on in the day, this 100% record isn't just race wins, it's pole, it's fastest lap as well. And in what is becoming a very dominant season, it's going to continue. Here he comes then, up towards the end of lap number 11. 10 minutes are up, the clock has hit 0. And so Mike Williams it is who's going to come through to make it 5 out of 5 in the Drayton Manor Park MG Metro Cup. He takes the checkered flag to win. Behind him is Tom Sanderson, who for the 5th race in a row chases home Mike Williams, and then for 3rd is Tom Granger. He's going to win his class, and that's 5 in a row for him in his class as well this season as he comes up flashing his headlights. And Jack Ashton is going to be 4th. Another very good run for him in what was only his 5th ever motor race. And for 6th spot, coming home behind him is going to be in 5th spot, I should say, is going to be Ollie Hood, and then in 6th spot Neil Gardner, with Tony Howe after the engine change at lunchtime heading home. The rest of the field, he's 7th. He's also the better of the 2 genuine Metro turbos in the race. There's the other car of Richard Garrard behind. Mike Williams then has done it yet again. How are they going to stop him? He's victorious yet again in the Metro Cup, turning his way to the paddock and then down towards the presentation area. And a busy race once more, won by Mike Williams. In 2nd place, Tom Sanderson. Tom Granger comes home in 3rd. Jack Ashton 4th ahead of Oliver Hood. Neil Gardner is 6th. Williams and Granger out of that 6, the drivers that win their respective classes.